going to set up. While he's setting it up, I'll introduce you a little bit more. Tara is not a scientist, and yet she asks better questions than most scientists I know. And she's an anosmic from birth. We have another one here, Adnan. Raise your hand. So talk to those people if you've never met an anosmic and ask them about their experience. And we have at least 2 companies here that are trying to create technologies for people like Tara. And Tara's had some experience using these technologies, and she's going to tell us, I think, about how much they suck. Now, that is not a comment on how badly engineered they are. In fact, both Aribale and iRomasense are very well engineered devices. The comment is on how difficult it is to actually bring something to bear to a regular person who's not interested in this from a lab perspective. To bring this into the workflow of life is hard. And Tara, I think, is going to tell us about that. Yeah.
Don't give away my whole presentation. Okay, I'm guessing. I only have 5 minutes. You're telling all my secrets. I know him well, can you tell? Let's see, so it's just this one, right? Okay. So, I already have the introduction, everybody, but hi, I'm the curious congenital anosmic. I don't work in the sciences, but I work in tech. So I work in ad tech and I put ads on TV, long story short. Still don't know why I'm anosmic, unfortunately. I'm hoping one day one of you in the room will solve that for me. Let's see, let me click that button. And then I have actually gotten involved with Osmocosm because at the end of the day, you watched my presentation from last year, but I wanted a device to help solve the needs for anosmics like me. So might as well gather together, get everybody, get their hopes, their dreams, their desires, and bring everybody that's innovators in the space together, because together we can make things happen, right? So overall, I've gone to CES, I've gotten my hands on Arabelle's device, I've gotten my hands on also iRomasense, as you know, I've talked to them, I've had other conversations, and I got some little secrets, but overall, I would say everything currently fits into 3 categories. There's the virtual reality devices, which you might have seen. They're in the little headsets and then around your neck. And they're about scented cartridges. So anywhere between 4 and I believe 8 cartridges. And then there's the oil dispersion, it's the air. It's kind of like a diffuser. Whereas an iRomasense, it's a puff of air into the room. And then there's also devices that measure odor, like Arabelle's device. And that will tell you the volume of it, the chemical composition. But everybody, there are issues. He was right. I'm telling all the issues that I've seen lately. So the thing is with virtual reality devices and also the whiff of air into the space, for people like me, I can't even tell that there's an odor in the air. I can't tell that you put lavender oil into the air just then. So it works for people with reduced sense of smell, but for people like me, I don't even know that anything's there. That's the first issue. There's another one where we're in the state of innovation where everything's becoming smaller, but we're a little bit behind in this area, I would say, where there's things for people like me that aren't exactly the most fragile and take care of their little belongings. I've dropped my phone a time or 2, or 1,000. And these devices require the perfect humidity, the perfect lab-like conditions, like no air, no wind in the room. Can't say my apartment is that sterile. So you also have to have a computer, or you have to start up the device, and it takes a while. It takes 30 minutes to warm up. Takes 20 minutes to measure it, and as much as I want to help, it's just a little too much. What's interesting is that everybody seems to want a device that detects food spoilage, right? That's what I want. And they want it all in one device. They're like, why create it if there's only, what if it can only measure if beef and chicken are bad? That's fine, just make another device. I would carry a little keychain around with one for produce, one for meats, one for fish, because at the end of the day, I'd be helping prevent food spoilage and food waste. And one device could change that for decades to come. Another one, I know you've seen some slides earlier about the output. And like I said, I'm not in the world of sciences, so these little charts are pretty, But how do I know that ABC123 means ammonia or this? Or, I can tell the duration of time, but beyond that, I want something that's insightful to me, that I can understand. If I have a perfume ad that I go out and get, and it says it's evocative or, innovative and daring, I want to know, is the actual fragrance of the perfume citrus, musky? I have no clue what's going on, except for the little charts. So I like everybody to consider something like this. AI generated these pictures in like 30 seconds. I was like, I want a device that could measure your breath and tell you if 1 to 10, your breath stinks. If AI can do it in 30 seconds, I know people in here can make it happen. So I'm here to challenge you. By next year, one of you could be presenting something like this. But please, just think about having non-subjective words, adjectives, stuff that is easy to interpret. If a fart is stinky, is it okay? Like, if I walk 2 feet, will I still be able to smell it? I'm sure somebody can invent a fartometer in here. Just saying. So, and don't worry about creating multiple devices to solve a wide variety of needs. Because even if I can smell fish, you're gonna save the animals one at a time. So thank you, everybody. And here are just several examples of what I would like to envision in the future.
Thank you.
And by the way, I'd like to add here, if anybody wants input, I'm just here to be the lab rat. If you spell my name backwards, it's a rat, so I'm just living my destiny. I'm an Osmic, there's not too many of us, so, there is one over here in the audience, yes. So, use me, whatever you need. I'm here.
All right. With that, thank you, Tara. Do we have questions for Tara? Okay, go ahead.
I'd be curious. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hi. I'm curious to hear about your experience that's in your home. Are there other kinds of experiences when you're out in the world that also might be helpful to get assistance with?
There are so many, and I actually covered all of that in last year's presentation, but so you can check that out. But the whole fart thing, the breath smelling thing, there's just certain things where one person will say a fart lasts in the room for 30 seconds, the other person will say 30 minutes. So there's so many questions, and I'll give you a whole list if you're ready. Okay. Oh, okay, guys. Okay, fine. I'll share it with you again. So, 16 years old, first boyfriend. Nobody told me that he stunk until after I dumped him. He smelled like the meat counter that he worked at. And after that, I learned, I can't trust anybody, so please give me devices because people aren't straight up with me. So, thank you.
Go ahead. You had one question, quickly? You can talk to Tara later, but thank you.
Hi, I'm a high school student on the trip today. I was wondering a bit about your experience with anosmia, because I remember during the presentations that were earlier talking about how one could train to smell certain things. I was thinking, if you can't smell, how are you supposed to smell?
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's what you said.
So, yeah, if you can share a little bit about
That's my first issue, actually. Thank you for raising that question. And that's why I'm sure that somebody is going to invent something that's a little different. Like one day, I think it was 2002 when the PS3 came out. I don't know if anybody knows that year. I saw an article about some technology that was going to beam scent directly into your brain. And I can't find this to save the life of me because they would be presenting here today. No, but
I know what it is.
Of course.
Patented by Sony. There is a patent out there by Sony Corporation to beam sense via infrared stimulation of your olfactory bulb. I don't think it's been proven, but it's out there.
And that would allow me to smell like video games and everything else. I would love to be able to experience it, even if they are playing with my mind a little bit.
Cool, thank you.